Hi, everyone. I hope that me standing outside the room and saying that there's free t-shirts, don't you want to hear about open sourcing Unity Catalog, worked. I think it did. I think we actually have better attendance than the last session that Ramesh and I did. So this is pretty good. I'm very encouraged, actually. Okay, so we're running a little bit behind because we're going to do like a really intense live demo. And so I'll make sure that we get to that, or maybe I'll actually just buy Ramesh time. But I'm really excited to talk to you about open sourcing Unity Catalog. I'll talk at 2x speed to buy time. Who are we? I'm Michelle. I'm a product manager here at Databricks. I'm based in San Francisco. Talk to me about Delta Lake. Talk to me about Unity Catalog open source. And then also you can talk to me about where to find the best burritos in the Mission neighborhood, because I'm a local. And then I'm joined by Ramesh.
I'm an engineer at Databricks, and I've been at Google before Databricks. And talk to me about Unity Catalog governance, systems, distributed systems, security.
Yeah. Okay, everything. Amazing. And then we're also going to be joined by Denny a little bit later, DevRel extraordinaire. And then let's talk a little bit about the agenda. So I'm really excited because we're going to talk about first an overview of just like Unity Catalog. Why did we decide to open source it? What does this mean? Then we're actually going to go dive into the details because I think actually people like details in these talks. So we're going to dive into the API spec. We're going to dive into the server, into the reference client implementation. We're going to do a demo with it. Ramesh is going to do most of the heavy lifting, and I'm just here to hype him up. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's next. And then if we have time, we'll do a Q&A that's recorded. Otherwise, you can just talk to us after the session. And then also there will be free t-shirts. I wasn't lying. They're just not here yet. So you kind of have to stay for a little bit longer. Cool. Okay. So first, giving a little bit of an overview. I just gave this spiel basically in the last session, but we started building Unity Catalog to solve a couple different challenges that we saw. So we started building it a few years ago, and mainly it was to solve what our simple thesis is around that, like modern data and AI workloads, they demand a multimodal catalog. And so that's the second problem statement here, which is that data and AI assets are frequently arbitrarily siloed in many sort of like single purpose solutions for governance and cataloging and all those great things, right? So your metadata is in all these different silos. So that also means that governance across data and AI is very inconsistent and difficult. And then finally, and this is the most important thing because catalogs, they function best when they're like this sort of source of truth or this unification layer across all of your assets. But when you're making it this source of truth and unification layer, that's a big bet that you're taking because you want to make sure that whatever foundations that you're building your data architecture on, that are future-proofed. And so that's actually quite difficult today in a lot of different cloud platforms. They lack open access. Maybe there's like native tables. Maybe they say that they're open, but you need some sort of always-on compute. But basically, TLDR is that's actually pretty challenging to deliver on that like beautiful vision that I just said about this open access and interoperability with this single source of truth across data and AI. And so those are some of the challenges today. And we built Unity Catalog to address these problems. And so this is the slide that I hope more people should be taking photos of. Oh, actually it's messed up because of the captions. I should have fixed that. But basically, Unity Catalog, today, we've been building it for several years to deliver on this promise, which is that any engine should be able to access all of your data and AI assets that are governed within Unity Catalog. And how we do that is by implementing this universal standard, so that enables broad client compatibility and interoperability. So this is both with the native Unity Catalog REST APIs, which we're coining Unity REST APIs, which enables access to tables, unstructured data, objects, volumes, your AI ML assets like functions and models. So it enables access to all of those things that are in Unity Catalog. The other thing, though, is that it's really important for us to embrace open standards. And so we've also implemented the Iceberg REST Catalog APIs to be able to read from Unity Catalog, or sorry, uniform-enabled tables, and then also Delta sharing, open standard protocol for sharing cross-domain. And then this is cut off by the captions, and I really should have fixed this, but we were just running from the previous session. Where it's really important for us to be able to support any storage format as well. And so what's cut off, so I'll just read it off to you because I have it memorized, is that we want to be able to support not just Delta tables, but also Iceberg, Hoodie, Parquet, CSV, JSON, all of those different formats that you might be using should all be able to be supported and governed within this single catalog and open standard. And so we're really excited because now, and you saw this live earlier with Mate, Unity Catalog is open source. And so he flipped the GitHub repo live on stage earlier, and it was very nerve-wracking, but it actually really was live. And so we're really excited because basically with this announcement, we're enabling open access, and so this is what we're going to dive into is Open API spec and the open source server implementation. And then the way that we've designed it is around interoperability and unified governance for your data and AI assets. And so this is available today, and this is what we're actually going to dive into in this session, is the Open API spec, which supports managed tables, external tables, volumes, functions, credential vending. The open source server implementation actually implements all of those APIs. This is available today in GitHub. We're going to go look at that in a second. And then we also have a bunch of developer resources you can get started today. So we have a new Unity catalog, SDK, you got your docs, we got your website. The website is very slick. Hopefully you all took a look at that. And then also, this is really important, I know, and then we're going to talk more about this too, but we also implemented secure credential vending. And this is like that building block or abstraction upon which we're going to build out asset, or which we have asset level access control as well. Okay, and then what we're really excited about, and then we can talk more about this as well, is that we have officially, as of this morning, donated Unity Catalog to the Linux Foundation, AI and Data Foundation as a sandbox project. And I was talking to some folks earlier before the session, but we're really excited because this is going to enable us to collaborate with some incredible open source communities and projects that are also in the Linux Foundation, AI and Data Foundation, including, of course, Delta Lake and MLflow, but also really awesome projects such as Egeria, Onyx, Open Lineage, and stuff like that. And so we're really excited to build on the foundational building blocks that we have in place today. And then I think what's really cool too is that we've actually already started engaging with and kicking off Unity Catalog's open source community with an incredible set of partners. And so what this diagram is showing, and it's like missing a little line for the Unity Catalog partners, but basically it's showing like, we've been working with some really cool partners. We've been working with, for example, Seller Data. They're the folks at StarRocks, which is like that low latency query engine, PuppyGraph, Daft, multimodal query engine, LangChain, which we just demoed, Unstructured, which is for that unstructured ETL for LLM applications, as well as the sort of the major platforms that you have come to expect interoperability with. And so we're really excited to have enabled this really rich ecosystem. And so now that I've given the overview, we're going to do the deep dive, and I'll pass it over to Ramesh to talk about architecture.
Thanks, Michelle. So before I get into the architecture and go into code deep dive and do a demo, first of all, like the demo, hopefully the demo will work because we just set it up. Like I was running from the previous meeting to previous. We had a presentation like literally 20 minutes ago, and then we had to just run from there. So hopefully it'll all work. But before I get into the architecture, some guiding principles when we started Unity Catalog 3 years ago, and there were some guiding principles that we adhered to as we went around the project. First was it was built with openness in mind. So that's the reason why we thought about separating out the engine from the catalog. So if you look at the overall architecture, the architecture DBR or the Spark runtime is separated out from the REST API that the catalog provides, and we have a very clean interface or relatively clean interface in terms of how DBR talks to the catalog. And then we've designed it to be universal for data and AI together from the ground up, from the get-go, right? We did not restrict ourselves to tabular assets. We went with unstructured files. Very soon after we implemented tables and views, we started thinking about files because that was a common thing we heard about from customers. We had DBFS before, which was not ACLed. That was a big problem for customers. So we used that experience to learn that we need to put ACLs on files as well. And then, given that we are an AI company, we also started thinking about models and other feature tables and so on. So all of that started coming in right after the first year of building Unity Catalog. And So the next thing is, it also has governance from the ground up. We started thinking about it from the principles of like what is the basic governance building block we need on top of which we can build more advanced governance capabilities. The building block is credential vending at the level of like individual objects. And once we have object level control, then we can kind of expand that and like scale it up by adding things like RBAC or ABAC and so on. All of those features are there in the Databricks product, but the underlying thing for all of that is credential vending. Finally, we first wanted to get real world experience and validation before we open sourced it. And also, as we're open sourcing it, we are looking at the core functionality that is used by majority of our customers. We think that is that the surface of that is very stable and something which we can kind of stand behind. The more newer functionality that is not battle tested, we are still waiting on. We'll continue to do that as time goes by. So with that set of guiding principles, some high level the resource model that UC has. Unity has a 3-level namespace. The top level is a catalogs, and the second level is schemas. And at the leaf level are all the common objects that you can think of, like tables, volumes, functions, views, and models, and so on. So the ones in the orange are the ones which are the most commonly used ones. They are the ones in open source today. The ones in green are still not yet moved to OSS. Again, we are thinking very imminently. Michelle will talk about the roadmap in a bit, but we're imminently thinking about views and so on. Okay, so from an API perspective, broadly each resource type has the CRUDL API. That's the REST. So Unity provides a REST API that the engines can use to integrate with, right? And this is kind of broadly the API is categorized into this. So for each resource type, we have the create, read, update, delete list calls, and for all the resources that have storage, like tables, volumes, models, and so on, we have temporary credential vending APIs, right? That's the one which is, as I said, the building block for governance. And for tables are a bit more complicated. For transactional objects like tables, we have a commit API, and the commit API is being designed at this point, and it's actually going to go preview sometime soon, and that is coming soon. And when it comes in, we'll also bring that into the open source UC. So maybe if I can make this screens work here, I'll try jumping into the. Yeah.
This is the demo?
No, I'm just going to go through the API docs.
Oh,
right?
Wow, okay.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay, this is not showing up there.
Wait, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to bring up a browser so that I can go to the API docs and GitHub. And so I can show the API surface for a couple of the APIs.
You can do that on the top of there.
If I think, let me see.
Yeah, you have to move your mouse over, I think. This is actually the best part, because I feel like this is when everyone in the audience is just like dying to tell Ramesh like what button to click. They're like, oh, please, I think you just, all you have to do is minimize this window and then click at the other thing.
Sorry? Yeah, do a new tab right there, but I can't see it. That's the problem.
See, I knew it.
I can't see, so then
you have to look at the screen. Yeah. And any other suggestions?
Oh man. So yeah, so this will.
All right, everyone, pull out your laptops. Go check out the OpenAPI YAML file.
Yeah, where is my mouse? Yeah, but I can't. She couldn't do mirror mode. Couldn't work.
Oh wait, this is working. I don't know. Oh.
That's the one you wanted me to disconnect? Sorry. Sorry, technical difficulties. I disconnected.
Is this the one you wanted me to disconnect? Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay, okay, get back up. Now I need to bring my window.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need a hand. I think we need a hand. You don't have it memorized, Ramesh? I thought you did.
Yeah, all the API docs?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit. I mean, I can tell you the simple ones.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
So yeah, we can talk about the catalogs API.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So let's talk about catalog has a create, read, update, delete, list.
Okay,
so I was
good.
about
Wow.
to show the list catalogs API, right?
Okay, so I can cradle on catalogs. Okay, that's good. That's good.
The list catalogs API takes in the catalog name, and it takes this page token,
Okay.
which tells you what. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it
so it's
mirrored?
paginated. That's what you said?
Sorry. But I cannot see what's going on. Like I cannot. It's because it's not mirrored, right? I have to.
Okay, so you said it takes
So it's a paginated
name
API.
and then it's a paginated API, so it takes page token. Okay.
Yeah, so it takes the name and it takes the page token.
That's important.
And then it returns a list of a maximum number of results, which is set by the server. And then it also returns the next page token.
Okay.
So which you can use to kind of iterate through the pages.
This is good. This is good. Yeah. All right. So then, what's the next? What's after catalogs?
So yeah, after showing catalogs, I wanted to kind of go through temporary credentials.
Oh, that's a big one, actually.
Yeah. So I was about to show table temporary credentials, in which takes in the table ID and gives you and the operation that you can perform on it, whether it's a read API or a read operation or a read write operation, and then gives you back a temporary credential for it.
Okay. Okay.
And,
I'm imagining it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is everyone taking notes, by the way? I hope you are. This is very, very important information.
And so that's it. And after that, right, I wanted to go through that and jump into the.
What is actually for the audience? What is temporary credential vending? Because I get this actually as an FAQ a lot. Is like, what is that? What is that?
So I have slides on that. Maybe I can get into the slides. I can talk about temporary credential vending and why is it important, but I already have slides on that.
We can just go to the
We can
slides.
just jump into that, maybe. Yeah, we can do that.
We can just do the slides.
Yeah, where's the link?
To the.
Is everyone getting shirts? That's a good idea, actually. You should get your shirts now.
There you go.
I actually thought everyone was leaving. I was like, come on, it's not that bad. I think we're actually pretty engaging. I was like, come on, guys. Like really? I mean, we're actually
Okay.
Yeah. That's actually a really good idea.
We are in mirror mode now, so I guess I can see what's happening.
Okay, great.
So
Okay.
you can take questions. I think we can be free form. That's fine. We can take questions.
Well,
We can take questions as I'm going through it.
yeah,
That's fine.
Let's just do that. Yeah. Okay. Well, while folks are getting shirts, think of some really good questions because now we're going to do the dangerous part, which is we're going to do a live Q&A on the recorded breakout session. I know that's actually really nervous. I was really nervous about that during the previous one. I was like, this is recorded. Shoot, I should have put my mic down before I started saying stuff. No, I haven't learned. I'm still talking right now. I'm still talking. It's clearly 0 lessons were learned. But we're looking at we're looking at our gorgeous website. All the shirts are gone? Already? What? I already know that some of you took more than one. I already know. That's okay though. It's an apology for our technical issues. At least you got some. They're good shirts actually. And then.
So this is how you go to the API docs. Go to unitycatalog.io.
Wonderful.
If you go through the API, you get into the API documentation for the Unity Catalog API. This is on the GitHub page. So let's say this is the one I was talking about.
Okay,
list
great.
catalogs.
Okay, Credle on catalogs. Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
So you can go into list.
Yep. Okay, listing catalogs, page token. Okay, so you weren't lying. You actually did have it memorized. Wow.
Yeah, I forgot the max results though.
Oh, you did
so you can
forget
also send the max results, which will, if it is less than the server's max
Oh,
results.
okay. I was going to say, you said the server had it defined. Yeah.
Okay. So, and the temporary credentials, right? So let's go back and look at temporary credentials API.
Okay, generating temporary table credentials. And then we have generate temporary volume credentials too.
Yes. So
that's important.
For any object that has storage, we would give you temporary credentials, right? So that's the table ID and the operation. Okay. So let's say you have a client which like Spark or DuckDB that integrates with you. See, this is.
Oh, you wanted to.
Yeah, okay, this is good. So then a user who wants to configure this client just needs to provide the API endpoint and the credential that corresponds to that particular implementation of Unity, right? So for example, for Databricks, it might be a personal access token. For something else, it might be OAuth. Whatever is the mode, is a credential, is authentication mode that they use. And so this is exactly how, for example, DuckDB today authenticates with Databricks UC. So we can go over like an overview of a command. Let's say a user sits in front of an engine, writes a show catalogs command. It would then translate into a get catalogs on UC, and UC returns the list of catalogs which are then rendered to the user as a SQL response. So this is how DBR works, and this is what I mean by like the separation of the engine. You can replace DBR with DuckDB and it'll just work. Right?
And then what is DBR?
DBR is Databricks runtime, which is Databricks version of Spark. So this is a simple command, right? So a more interesting command is reading from a table. Reading from a table involves multiple operations. It's not just a single get metadata fetch. So if you have a select from a table, the engine would then first go to Unity, get the table's metadata, and after that it goes and asks Unity for the temporary credentials. The API URLs are representative here. They're not exactly match up with like what the API endpoints for UC look like. So then it gets back the temporary credentials, and after that the engine uses those credentials to call cloud storage and gets the data and then uses that to render the results and send them back to the user. So the flow is more complicated, but this is the more interesting flow. This is how table reads work. So yeah, this is what DuckDB does when it reads from UC. So let's see.
We're gonna do the demo.
Yeah.
How much time do we have?
Do we have time?
Maybe we. Well, what do people want to do? Do you guys want to see the demo? Table reads with DuckDB.
I mean, I can stay back and show you the demo, but if you're running out of time.
Yeah. Also, Ramesh very kindly volunteered his time, not only to provide tech support to Michael, to help show him how to enable Uniform on managed tables. We can also stick around to show a live demo. That's what's nerve-wracking about this.
Is it working? Okay, let's try this. I haven't set it up now. I guess let me go and those secrets. I shouldn't have brought that up, but
the secrets. The secrets are recorded right now.
Okay, so that's this essentially loads the UC catalog. UC catalog, as you can see, is in core nightly, which means it's not public. It's not GA'd yet, and I will before I get there, I will want to show you whose secret I'm actually using. Right?
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I should show whose secret I'm using, right? So let's see.
So whose?
So this is in sales catalog on which I have like some sales data here, and I have like let's say a sales returns data which I am given permission to Michelle, and Michelle wants to use DuckDB.
This is my secrets that you're leaking on the internet.
Yeah.
Got it.
I want to. Use DuckDB, or you wanted to use DuckDB.
Well, I did.
To run the report,
well, but that's before I realized that you were gonna paste in my secret into a live demo.
So this is how.
Oh my God. Oh. This token. This is a plain text string of my actual token that I did send to you in Slack. And also in plain text.
Why is it not working?
Oh my God. Yeah. Wait. Okay, everyone. All right.
Delta.
It's okay. This is gonna be posted online. I mean, maybe we can redact it. I think we have the technology to do that.
Load. Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah.
Oh, we got some DuckDB experts in the crowd.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. But I'm going to delete this token, by the way. Just. So attach. So what this is doing here, right? It's attaching the sales prod catalog. That is the catalog here. That catalog to DuckDB, right? And if I show the tables in this catalog, it would show me the two tables that Michelle has access to. Nice. She has access to both the sales store report, that Michelle, and the and this table.
Nice.
But
So,
she
so
doesn't
these
have
are the tables that someone, an administrator, you, granted me permission in Unity Catalog on Databricks. And then I'm using DuckDB, and I was able to at least see the 2 tables I have access to.
Yep, and you
with
don't,
my credentials that you leaked.
And you don't see the purchase orders because you don't have access to it.
That's probably good, because now that it's out there on the internet, everyone else can see every table that I have access to.
Yeah, and then let's say we can run a select query, and this is going through the temporary credential flow that I mentioned before, right? So that while, let's see how long that takes because it's going over the hotel Wi-Fi.
I thought DuckDB.
So this DuckDB is running on my laptop, by the way, and it is like connecting to UC. Okay.
Did you revoke my access because you leaked?
No, I think it is not able to go to S3 for some reason.
Uh-oh. Well, this is how you know it's live.
Yeah. Okay.
So what was supposed to happen?
There you go. That is what is supposed to happen.
This was what was supposed to happen.
Okay. So okay. So that's what is supposed to happen. It took quite a long time from I'm on the hotel Wi-Fi. So and
okay, you're blaming Moscone. Okay.
So let's say if I go in and I revoke access to Michelle here.
Okay.
So this works too. Now you don't have access.
Okay, good.
If I rerun the query, it should give me
a generic S3 error. No, we got a client error. We got the client error. Status 403. That's what we expected, right?
So yeah. So this is the right error, but I'm not sure whether it's happening because of the.
Yeah. Okay. Now we have no idea. If it's the right error, this is what happens when you have generic error messages. It's really difficult to debug what happened. However, at least I don't have access.
Now, so after this, I wanted where is our presentation here? Is this one? No.
No. I think it's the other one.
This one. Okay.
Yeah.
So how much time do we have?
We don't have very much time left. We got 7 minutes. We can speed run talking about credentialing.
Okay, so
we kind of talked about that already, didn't we? We can skip that.
But we could skip this.
So this is basically how you get access control, and we just saw that. So that was good.
Yeah. So the
images are more powerful than words.
Yeah. The important thing here is it's a time-limited downscoped credential that is generated on demand for that maps to a single higher-level object. So you can map it to tables, volumes, models, and you get access to a single object. And this is the foundational building block for all other higher level access control mechanisms that we have, like grants and RBAC and ABAC and so on. So I wanted to do a code deep dive to show how this temporary credential vending thing works in the reference client that we have.
Oh, that actually would have been pretty cool. That would have been pretty cool, but I'm not sure we have time. Do people want to see that? Do people want to see exactly in the code how it's implemented? Or do people want to, I don't even know what other content we have coming up.
I think this is all I had pretty much after this. But if you have questions.
Oh, we have some slides. We can talk about our open sourcing strategy.
Yeah, maybe you should do that. If anyone is interested in looking at the code, come and talk to me. We can look at it together.
We're going to be here for hours. All right, I can tell. Okay, cool. Okay, well, let's see. Okay, so let's take it for a spin. We did that. We're doing the code deep dive. What's next? Oh, Denny, did you want to talk about this actually? No, extremely well organized. Extremely well organized.
Hold on. What we did pull off was the fact that we actually got the website, and Matej did not accidentally hit delete repo when we went public. So we did have a backup locally and also on GitHub. But all right, so some people are wondering, well, how are you going to engage with us from an open source community aspect? Okay, so we've got lots of really good stuff. Basically, the real quick call out is that, as some people would say, like, oh, the elephant in the room, which is, oh my goodness, what are you going to do with Iceberg REST catalog? Well, actually, we're going to work very closely with the Iceberg community, right? Now, this is something that, because there are a lot of people who have said, we like the way catalog works. Some people who say we like the APIs the way, for example, the Iceberg REST catalog works. Here's just a small, tiny example, okay? And once I provide you the slides, it'll actually link directly to the line items of each operation ID. And you notice how they're slightly different between Unity Catalog versus the way Iceberg REST catalog. Some of them match exactly, some of them are slightly different. And if I go into the code even deeper, without you being bored to death on that, you'll notice that there are even slightly different properties for each one of these operations, okay? So what we want to do is try to reconcile some of those differences. And so that's actually what we're going to be working with the community. Between now and then, there's already a Slack, a GitHub, a distribution list for both the user and dev list, so we can go ahead and talk to you about these things. As Ramesh and Michelle already shown, there's the documentation, API Swagger, and we're also going to be running community meetings and events, okay? So we're probably not going to run too many things over the summer because I think most of us are going to go sleep for the next 2 months, okay? And then after that, then we'll actually get back in gear. But by the same token, most of the time we don't usually run too many actual physical events during the summer because nobody wants to go. All right, maybe 1 or 2 virtual events, but the physical events, forget it. But basically, we will be running events as well, okay? And then I promise to have enough t-shirts next time, so sorry. All right, so this is the last slide. Basically, we already have, whether you want to use the go.unitycatalog.io or if you want to use the QR codes, okay? So do engage with us, ask your questions, use the GitHub repos, use the user list, use Slack. We'll try to answer them as fast as we can. Obviously, we'll also be around here to try to answer as fast as we can, but the context we're trying to get at is like, this is a very exciting aspect of the community, which is not just all the partners that Michelle had shown previously in her slides. But just as important, there's a lot of really cool projects. Just this morning, okay, so Michelle and I had this wonderful option of waking up at 6 in the morning to, actually, before that, yeah, actually, with Vinny right back there too, okay? She's the chair of the LF AI and Data TAC, where we actually had a lot of the folks come in and vote whether our project Unity Catalog should be part of the sandbox project of LF AI and Data. Overwhelmingly, people loved it. We already have partnerships started with just about every single one of the projects there. So this is very much a community effort. So we're gonna try to answer as fast as we can, but also, yeah, you know, we need sleep first. Okay, so nevertheless, this is very much a community effort, so we do want your engagement. We do want you to ask questions, and hopefully, because how we're engaging with you, with our partners, with the community in general, we're going to make a much easier to use, much more interoperable standard for everybody. Okay, so that's the real quick call out. All right, okay, that's it. I'm done. What else?
Okay, exciting. Thank you. All right, I had one last thing actually, which is shout out to Jasmine, Lance DB, one of the partners. You should ask all these people hard questions, actually. Jasmine, oh yeah, you're gonna stand up. Very fashionable. Greg in the pink shirt from Seller Data, Star Rocks, who we've been collaborating with, and then Dan from Puppy Graph with an awesome jacket. Wait, did I miss someone else? No, that was it. Okay, yeah, that's good. Okay, so ask these guys questions while the rest of us take a nap. But no, seriously, thank you so much for bearing with us through the technical difficulties. Hopefully, you at least took something away, which is that our logo is awesome. The pink squares stand for tables. The triangle, oh, it says on the back of your shirts, by the way. Triangle stands for AI assets, and then the hexagon in the middle stands for unstructured data, because, you know, it's a unified catalog across data and AI. Okay, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference.